So everyone is pissed off about this whole situation that Doge has exposed. So Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk, they are going through line by line of all of our different budget items that we are putting federal aid towards. And all over Twitter, people are pissed off because it was revealed by Elon Musk that $59.3 million was sent last week to New York City. And the reason that was being alleged is that all of this money was going towards putting illegal immigrants inside of luxury hotels. And the situation got so big so quickly that 4 employees from FEMA, and if you don't know what FEMA is, that is a federal emergency management agency. So pretty much the government agency that is financially responsible for helping out Americans or whomever in need. 4 different people, including the CFO, ended up getting fired. And there's a lot of reasons to be pissed off by this situation. I just want people to be pissed off accurately. That is my whole thing. So the government's disaster relief fund, I want to clarify, is a separate fund from what is going towards illegal immigrants. And a lot of people gave attention to FEMA for the first time back when Hurricane Helene was going on, because there wasn't enough money for these people suffering from the hurricane. And when this big disaster happened over in North Carolina, there were people getting kicked out of hotels because they didn't have enough resources coming from the government after losing everything. So everybody was looking at FEMA and being like, well, FEMA is sending money here, here, and here. Now, another reason that people are irritated is because something that we've known for a while, per New York Times, this was in May of 2024. I don't know what the stat is now, but 135 out of New York City's nearly 680 hotels, which is 20% of the hotels in New York City, our largest, most populated city in America, they were housing illegal immigrants. So that has been something that I've been irritated about for a while. So now when the allegations started going on that the $59 million was sent to New York last week, the city officials stepped in and clarified that there is a separate fund for the migrants than the disaster relief fund, which is true because FEMA partners with the Customs and Border Control, and they administer that money through the Shelter and Services Program. And that's pretty much a government fund that is, or it's a government-funded program, I should say, that is providing assistance and housing for illegal immigrants released here in the U.S. Now, another thing I got from New York Times that I thought was interesting about that is they clarified that Congress created in 2023 to dole out grants to groups and localities that provide shelter and other services to migrants who are released in the U.S. from Department of Homeland Security custody after crossing the border. The program created under Mr. Joe Biden was created as the border crossings were surging in our major cities. So, again, this is all reason to be mad. Because personally, I don't think we should be putting a single dollar towards the comfortability of illegal immigrants. The only money that we should be putting towards illegal immigrants, in my opinion, is sending them back home. Because you need to go back, get your paperworks, pick up your birth certificate, and come on over here properly through the system. But what I want to clarify is that people keep spreading this $59.3 million figure, and I just want us to be accurate when we're mad, because otherwise we lose credibility. And just as quickly as the right has gained credibility and gained respect, we can lose it if we're not accurate about the numbers. So what the real number is that is going towards these hotel costs is $19 million that's going towards the hotels of illegal immigrants. And then the rest of that balance is going towards giving them, food, some other forms of like shelters and security for these people. So yes, there was $59 million going towards New York for illegal immigrants, but $19 million of that is going towards the hotels. And the reason why I'm being this Karen about it is because, again, we will be nitpicked ad nauseum if we are not accurate in what we are and where this money is going. But again, even $19 million for hotel costs is insane. Why are 20% of the hotels in New York being used to house illegal immigrants? Why are we not putting them on buses and planes and sending them back to the countries that they came from? There is no reason that we have so many issues here in America, yet this is what we're spending our money on. Congress, so I believe it was 2 years ago now, Congress allocated $650 million to the shelter program through the Customs and Borders Protection budget for the 2024 fiscal year. So $650 million is a lot of money that could have gone to a lot of places. And their justification for it is that $7 billion alone has went into New York City and the state to pretty much shelter and take care of feeding these illegal immigrants. And while I love that America is a country that really tries to treat humans like humans as we should, we also need to treat criminals like criminals. Okay? If you come over here legally, then you come over here and you earn the resources. But if you come here illegally, we shouldn't be putting you in luxury hotels. And then these hotels and these New York City Council officials are trying to argue, oh, they weren't luxury hotels. They were nice. Like there were motels and hotels at discounted rates. Regardless of what you paid, you still paid for illegal immigrants to be in these hotel rooms. Meanwhile, you have people in North Carolina kicked out of their hotels. So one of the things I want to clarify again is that the money that is going towards the disaster relief here in America is a totally separate fund from the fund that is going towards illegal immigrants. Don't be mad that there isn't or don't be mad saying that they took money from the fund that is going towards Americans and put it towards illegal immigrants, because that's not what happened. If you're going to be mad, because I know I'm mad, be mad that that's a fund in the first place. Because we should be using that money for way more American-centric issues. How about we use that for the 33,000 homeless veterans that we have here in America? How about we use that for the 1.2 million children that are homeless in America? I keep saying it. Have y'all forgotten that Flint, Michigan still doesn't have water? That problem alone is going to take hundreds of millions of dollars for these people to have clean water. And I would rather spend hundreds of millions of dollars to make sure that Americans in Flint, Michigan have clean water rather than putting $650 million towards the comfortability of illegal immigrants. Be so for real. Okay? You also have 60% of low-income kids who don't even have proper books to read at home or just like even in their classrooms. Y'all want to talk about systemic racism? Let's talk about all the poor black kids who go to rundown schools with terrible textbooks. And it's a lot more than just poor black people, but these poor kids are not getting the proper education that they need. And instead of putting more money towards that and cracking down on that whole situation, we're funding these illegal immigrants and making sure that they have a place to stay in a country that they're not even supposed to be in. It's out of control. And you also have 25 million Americans without health care. So as you can tell, I'm irritated by it, but let's be irritated for accurate reasons.